Bolton is Australia's most respected exit strategy advisor and CEO of the Exit Strategy Group. Welcome to this week's segment.
I want to tell you a little story about a couple of coffee shops that I heard about up in Portland, Oregon, way up north in the US. And this is a little while ago now, back in 2011. And apparently they were absolutely busier than ever. The regulars who were there were pushed out of the way, and all sorts of newcomers were actually coming in and visiting. And why was that? Well, I hear the reason was that for the first time they were in to redeem their coupons and get $10 worth of coffee for $3. So tempting as the offer was, because Floyd had picked up the first ever Google offers deal. Now, I don't know about you, but I didn't even realize Google made offers. The one that I know all about is Groupon, and some other names that are quite familiar in Australia that have since disappeared. But apparently Google offers were the first baby steps that they made into the world of social buying style promotions, where a special limited time offer was made, and hoping that the deal would spread virally and thereby introduce a whole new legion of customers to your businesses. Of course, as I said, Google didn't invent it. They were grabbed and goaded into it after their generous offer to Groupon was turned down. Now, Groupon, who are starting to feel the pinch after thumbing their nose at one of the world's most valuable companies, according to Compete.com, have found that their traffic has gone from 33.7 million unique visitors in June 2011 to just 18.3 million unique visitors in 12 months. That is a drop of almost half inside less than a year. And of course, not surprisingly, Groupon stock just tanked, absolutely tanked since its IPO. So the message here and the lesson is about overplaying your hand. The moral of the story is to be careful not to overplay your hand when being approached by someone who wants to buy your company. Buyers usually have deep pockets if they're a big company, and while you might think that your business is unique, never underestimate the resolve of a big company with lots and lots of cash. They do have an alternative to buying you. They can simply compete with you, as was the case here with Google and Groupon. So typically, when they make the decision to walk away from the negotiation table, they don't leave empty-handed. They come away with newfound insight on how you run your company and your business, what works, what flops, so they have an enormous head start to launch a competitive business. And it doesn't just happen in places like Silicon Valley. Take a hypothetical example of a home security company generating about $500,000 a year in profit before tax, and they're installing and monitoring home alarms. One day, a big alarm company comes along and says they want to buy the business, and they're willing to pay 4 times pre-tax profit, which isn't bad in the overall scheme of things. The alarm company owner turns up his nose and demands 6 times earnings. Now, the suitor has a choice. They can try to negotiate with the owner, but that would undermine the economics of the model that they've used to buy hundreds of similar alarm companies across the country. Or they can simply hire someone to start an office to compete with him. Let's say they pick number 2 and they hire a young, aggressive manager. They guarantee the manager maybe a couple of $100,000 a year in the first 12 months on the job while they're building the business. You've not only lost the opportunity to sell your business, you're now competing against a young, motivated rival with a parent company who has an extra $1.8 million, in other words, the $2 million that they were offering you and have withdrawn, less the $200,000 a year they're guaranteeing to the new manager. And so they've got $1.8 million that they didn't use to buy you. and they're putting it towards helping your new competitor build the business. So think about it. If you're lucky enough to be approached by a big company who wants to buy yours, remember, they're usually not choosing between buying you or buying your competitor. They're often choosing between buying you or setting up shop to compete with you. So if you're curious about what your business is worth and how you might want to improve its value to both strategic and financial buyers, just send an email to info@theexitstrategygroup.com.au and we'll send you a link to complete a Value Builder questionnaire, which will give you your score on the key value drivers in your company.
If you don't have a copy of Kerry's new book, The Uncensored Truth About Exit Strategies, please visit freeexitstrategybook.com.au.